Now, Gaza's damaged hospitals are struggling to deal with those injured in the latest wave of Israeli airstrikes. In addition, doctors report alarming levels of malnutrition, and aid agencies say they've been unable to deliver supplies because of fighting and looting. To find out more, let's go now to Dr. Margaret Harris. She's a spokeswoman for the World Health Organization. Thank you for joining us on the program today. Now, talk about the work that WHO are doing on the ground at the moment. What's the current situation as far as you see it?
Well, just as you described, it's dire, and it's very, very difficult to simply get the level of aid that's needed. The hospitals are really struggling. There are only 16 partially functioning, and of those 12 are really hardly accessible. Most people simply can't get to them. Added to that, they don't have the supplies they need. Now, we have 40 trucks waiting, filled with supplies, waiting on the other side of the border. We've only been able to get 16 trucks into Gaza in the past 4 weeks. But just getting a truck isn't enough. If getting the supplies from the trucks actually to the hospitals is a massive struggle. Now, we do it. We have been able to get to the different hospitals, but what we bring is a drop in the ocean. And it will be very hard to do what's needed until we have that ceasefire.
And watching some of this footage is incredibly distressing. The UN has warned of anarchy spreading in the Gaza Strip. Talk about the local capacity to manage public order and safety.
Well, this is another difficulty. I mean, my colleagues in the various human rights and in UNRWA explained that the police are no longer allowed to function. This was they were prevented functioning by the occupying power. So that means there is no security. And it's not simply that there are gangs that then loot the trucks. It's also that disputes are breaking out between families. People haven't got anywhere to live. People haven't got food. So the very fabric of the community is breaking down. It's a horrific situation.
You mentioned UNRWA. The UK announced that it will resume funding to the UN Palestinian Relief Agency. Talk about how UNRWA has been impacted by the withdrawal of funding from various countries and its efforts on the ground to try and maintain some sort of security.
Well, I can't really speak for them financially, but I can speak for what they do. And they provide all the basic services, including health services. They are the ones who run all the health clinics that are needed for vaccination, for looking after kids with all kinds of conditions, for looking after pregnant women throughout their pregnancies. And they've been decimated. So only 50% of those are open. Many of the shelters and the schools they run have been bombed. So it's good that the financing is back. But again, we need the conflict to stop.
All right, Dr. Margaret Harris, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sally.